by itself is a great thing where we can have these design hackathons with awards, and we can give NFT awards, and we can give even like potentially NFTs for participants at some point. But the main thing is just to teach everybody like how to design, effective economies to support things,
Yep. Yes.
And other solutions, because there's a lot of different layers to smart contract design, obviously the art design, but sort of like, being able to start with your sort of meta unpack there, and we want to, what do you think?
Yeah, focus on the utility, it sounds like, as a kind of a both educational kind of a step into the process, maybe, and then, so just really almost like high level functioning of the actual NFT might be interesting for you guys as a lead in, because it's different, it's I don't know. And you are cutting out just a little bit, just so you know.
Well, okay. All right. Is that working? Hello?
Yes, working better.
Okay. So on Wednesday, we have our host for Native Oklahoma News, Rachael Youngman. She just got back from Europe, and so this is going to be like the first thing. So Sanjay is up in Washington tonight, and on Wednesday, on your birthday, the 15th, at 11 a.m., they'll be having a program with the Colville tribe for their energy and food project. I think the Robert Redford Foundation might be involved. So I'm going to have Rachael talk to them. And after that, I want to have Rachael talk to you and Dan to explain, how this new strategy and tool of NFTs can be used for land-based projects, with Lala Gardens being our experimental sort of like garden prototype.
Perfect.
So then we'll meet Dan to talk more on the technical side, and then you to talk more on the vision side, and then how it can be utilized to support, any community effort, especially like Native American tribe land-based projects.
Perfect. Yep, I like it. And since I'm going to be showing this recording to Dan afterwards, since he's not here, is there anything we want or thinking of that he needs to know about? Let's
just bullet point by tomorrow. Just imagine, like, if you go onto an influencer show like Green Planet, Blue Planet, right, and you only have 10 minutes between, or maybe 12 minutes between the two of you, what are the bullet points? What do you call them? The talking points.
Yep.
So let's just hardline the talking points that are like, boosting regen garden, okay, and then focusing more on sort of that vision, and then obviously, like, for people to check out like our first release with the micro heroes, and we can show that, because we can we can create like a little video thing or something with like moving images to sort of show a bunch of them.
Nice.
And then and we're fully producing this, so this is all all in house. So this gives us an opportunity to kind of test our speaking, safely. And then in the event that it's like good, which I think most of the time it'll be good, then we're going to be like broadcasting and pushing that stuff, and start to like, close the loop a little bit.
Exactly. And I think too, on the tail end of this, since we are active in the Gitcoin GR14 round, maybe it might be interesting to touch a little bit on quadratic voting and the power of that for communities, because the more people that have $1 is better than the one person that has 100. So
Exactly. So the art of, like, I call it the art of, you know, uh, one drop, or, one loaf of bread, one drop of water, like everybody shares, because we have this like cutting edge technology that allows for that. That's the only difference. We just couldn't do it before. There was no way to track it. It was too chaotic and too much accounting, and we're not enough accountants, but we've solved that.
We have so solved that. Okay, sounds like we can pack it. And what's the time frame for this conversation?
So I would say, let's try to get just a one sheet that we would give to the journalist.
Okay.
And they can go dig in on the links of your whole, like, thing.
Oh,
but the main thing is what we're going to be talking about, like the key things to touch on, and then how it ties to the all of these emerging, tribes and communities around the world, regaining their self-resiliency, self-reliance, and autonomy and sovereignty in the process.
Yes.
So
okay. And
yeah,
we'll have that to you as soon as possible. I'll coordinate with Dan and we'll get it done. Should we send that directly to you, or is there any?
Yeah, just you can send to me. So for Native Oklahoma, like, Kim and I are spearheading that with the publisher Adam Proctor, who's Creek, and then the host, like, for the crew and everything. Okay. So yeah, just me and Kim can sort of look through that, and then Rachel is just like, she's professional, so she can come up with her own questions. I just want to give her something to chew on.
Yes.
And I need to collect tonight the information from Sanjay on what he's doing, and then as soon as you have, like, just a quick bullet point of what we can talk about, and think that what we want to do with this conversation is how we can bring this conversation into something people can understand.
Yeah.
And maybe detain as much as, like, the theory, as far as the patterns, the ecology, economy, of home, and so that's really what we need to train everybody on, is to understand economy, bio-regional economy, planetary economy, community. So this I guess just kind of showcasing what to do as communities to do.
Yes, perfect. That's what I'm here to do.
Something like that. I mean, you and I've been so deep in it, I don't know how I can really easily overwhelm people and go off topic. So we just need to, but if we have a host and nobody answers more than like a minute or so per answer, and we're keeping it tight and crisp, it'll be good. It'll be good.
Perfect. Yeah, you can draw from it for little snippets if you want to. We'll try to do it that way, so it's nice and formatted. Okay.
Yeah, and we'll be able to edit. So we're just going to record this through Zoom. And what is your bandwidth? Because I want to, that's our bottom line for recording.
I mean, I've got a hookup. It's, I'm paying good money for it. I don't know what the giga is. I could find out.
Okay. But have you had strong signal with video recently?
Yeah,
It's been strong.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
Because you can easily tell. So, like, when you're watching people's videos, if they have a low bandwidth, then it's like kind of like
it catches up.
It hangs up. It skips frames. Yeah.
No, we're good.
Okay, cool. All right. So then for us to do this higher quality recording, we need to use our Zoom infrastructure. So I will go in and sit you up. Have I ever set you up in that Zoom architecture?
No.
Okay. Which email? Oh, you sent it to me. Okay, so I'll use that. And is that the email you already used for your account?
Yes.
And are you paying?
I am.
Okay. How much you're paying? Like
$12, whatever.
$12. Yeah.
It is, yeah.
So that's for like an individual. We've got it down to like $11 a month rate.
Nice.
Because I
Nice.
got
Yeah,
like a 30 license deal.
oh, sweet. Yeah, I'd love to be there. I could drop an expense.
Are you paying monthly?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Then let's drop that expense. Let me look into it and confirm
Okay.
that I can like
sure.
set up a license for you, and then that will allow you to then like circle meetings, for
Yes.
yourself and for other things, um, and then there's auto transcriptions. Not that we really need it anymore because YouTube and everything else is auto now. But yeah.
Perfect. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Content we can use, because I've been watching all of the strategic sensing circles and Haifa, and there's a lot of good stuff that we can start to bring into like our state of the Dow kind of news programming, which I'm working on.
Oh, that's so good. And part of what I'm doing is I have the Wisdom Council now. And so, for instance, we just had a meeting where we're going to start talking about how to transfer into carbon credits, actually come up with standards for working with like how to create soil, the sponge capacity of soil. And so in doing that, I'm going to actually be looking to my council for help and doing like interviews with specific people who know how to do this stuff, and then making those part of the ecosystem.
Perfect. So then we'll be able to, I'll help you through that. There's
Nice.
For really important stuff, I usually also utilize additional computers that I put into the system to record locally specific pinned images. So like when I have like 4 people talking, I might have like the cloud record multiple channels, as well as like 4 machines recording each person continuously, just one ISO of them.
Okay.
And then we get the ISO audio, so that we don't have the same problem that occurs when people talk over each other.
Yes.
In Zoom, it does a mix minus to try to correct, and it sounds like shit, and you can't hear what anybody says. Right. And so now Zoom is allowing us to record every single person who's in there as an ISO audio channel. So in post production, we can cut really easily.
Perfect.
Especially when we're capturing the full grid, as well as the isolations and the screen shares all separately.
This is exciting. Yeah,
it's a lot of data, but it helps us on the post.
Well, we'll make it really high level quality, and because in one of my first interviews, I'm going to talk to Walter Jen, because I'm going to try to figure out how to translate water spongeability into carbon credits, and he's the one who's going to know. So I'll make sure that's kind of one of my first interviews, and it'll be cool. Helpful. Yeah.
So then the nature farming show, we talked about this before. I've already shot a little bit. I haven't looked at that footage yet, and I think Jezreel, who shot it with me, he might still have some stuff that I don't have from that shoot. But yeah, we shot the guy in Oregon, and then so I think that that will give us like footage, like really high quality footage that we can use for a promo teaser for getting funding for nature farming.
He would like that very much, and
yeah,
as long as I get something in there sometime, that would be great.
Well, let's just go back to the original. I mean, let's stick to the, these things take years to turn into mainstream shows. Yeah. And so now we've had the season we had to get through. We, now with potentially the summer of pain coming economically for everybody on the planet,
right?
And we're heading into the next winter, and there's going to be food shortages, and we're kind of fucked this year. But as long as we can be hard nosed on it, because the nature farming is definitely a critical thing to increase for land recovery.
Critical.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get prepared for that
and make it fun.
I'll just start gathering what I can gather towards that, and just have that as a high level direction.
Yeah, that's consider that like a baby project. That's a flagship show, and keep that at the high, and then in the process with the Zoom recording, you'll be able to start getting all of the quality interview content from all of these domain experts across for all of our stuff. So we just need a way to catalog and track all of that, and then we'll have transcripts that are searchable from all of this stuff. Because it's issue, but that's fine. And as far as what I'm looking at tactically is in the fall, maybe I'm talking with the producer. We have a tier with tiny home things that are tied to NFL games during the day, and so we're trying to trade these new markets with all of this good shit. And that would start in the fall, and it starts in Dallas, and then it would be in Denver in late September for that game. And so the idea is that we can start to host programs and events people are paying ticketing to come to, and then we have all of our tech company sponsors and Region Garden NFTs present, for people. And we can even, what part of the thing I want to try to go to him with is that we create all of the tiered tickets. I talked to Dan, but we create the tiered tickets for that program with NFTs, maybe as like tiny home, art of tiny home visualizations.
Yeah.
And then that would be the ticket that people are paying their different, like 100, 300, 200, $500,000 packages for the day events, whether they want to be at the game or not, just be part of the programs. So that's in fall.
If you want me to do any like tiny gardening, like demonstrations, since it is in Denver,
Exactly.
I can totally do that. Like I can do tutorials on how to create leaf protein, for instance, on the road.
So what we can do is, as a strategic partner with him, and I'll send the deck as it is to you. And then if we can go from Region Garden and like handle the ticketed the NFT process and portal for the people to buy that we need to put into the different portals, because we can sell from worlds and we can start to promote this across our influencer channels, and we're like getting people to start buying tickets. For that process, then like for the Denver, especially if you don't, maybe you want to do more cities than that, but definitely at least the Denver, then we can plan a process that'll be in late September. And so he'll have like a tiny home on site. So what I can imagine is like wherever he has the tiny home on site, we have this other educational content that's either all signage as well as event based. On like nature farming and other things, Region NFTs, so we can represent. So
perfect.
Okay, right, so that's in fall. And so between now and then, it's all about just getting our weekly content flows. And I want to see how this Region Civics thing comes out, because I feel like that can become like a good weekly show, and just kind of starting to pull all our podcasts and stuff together. I know Hannah Apricot's down in South America right now, and the Earth Regenerators podcast, and so we just need to kind of pull all of this stuff together. What are the weekly flows for meetings that you're doing within the Seeds ecosystem?
I'm not really active in Seeds at all. I am looks like I'm the leading pilot for this region, or for the Region Civics, and then I'm just coordinating with all kinds of other networks, including Bloom Network, which is about to come on board. You will want to know about them. Bloom, yep. Bloom.
Who's doing that?
Bloom Network.
Is that a female-based thing?
Yes, it is a female-based thing, and they are about to launch big time.
Okay.
So I'm
and is that coming out of Bloom Network?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
And
good.
So I'm kind of tied in with other alliances other than Seeds, and the only thing.
So just so you know how I'm playing this game is what I know is everybody needs production, and everybody deserves to have quality production, but not everyone can afford to have that access or ability.
Right.
So we're just like, so for me, DStudio, or the concept of DStudio, Nature Tech Studios, whatever, DStudios, is to be like a glue of just like nodes in all of these DAOs with the people within the DAO that are focused on production. Then they create the node, but then it's connected, and we have linking with the entire network through that sort of production layer. And then we have our broadcast distribution layer that everybody is pushing out their stuff on. And so the DStudio was the production layer. And the reason, part of my reasoning for this is that we constantly are going to need to tell the story.
Yes.
Year after year, day after day, century. And the organizations and the shape of the organizations is going to change and morph and grow. And like sometimes things are going to be absorbed. Sometimes things are going to be like disassembled and reassembled. But we're capturing that story over time. And so we have like this super network that has journalistic integrity in that style of storytelling, but we're also doing everything else on the commercial promotional side too, PR agency, and even, crisis management for these communities, because we have to play the game at a pretty big level, and we need to protect the people and the systems in place. We're not doing that, as you know. You're not protected.
I have a question for you. Because one of the things that seems to be completely lacking in the environment, and I need first more than anything in some ways, is a platform to host and to have educational material without it being like funneled or siphoned or siloed or whatever. So do you have any suggestions for how to integrate an educational platform so that I can start like teaching from some of the
material? You just focus on the content curriculums. We talked about this before. And as far as the first step of like how we present that to the people, the systems that I trust Daniel Schwid. He's the first one of the first ones I chose to essentially, he's like, I'm the fire, he's the wind, he blows me in the right direction. So he's the one that's coding all of our systems through this R&D bootstrapping phase. As far as the plan for the edutech, we are actively working on that with Nature Tech and with Better Worlds. And then Hubcast Media, I've still been working with them. I did a huge event in Austin for Fluff World, 2-day live broadcast, like major, multi-million-dollar production kind of thing.
I fell out with Korea and pissed them off. So.
Yeah, I've been paying attention. I watched some of those mom circles and other circles meetings that you guys had, and I was just like, oh no. But I'm glad that like you've held true to your cause, your purpose, mission. And we have to work with everybody at the end of the day, but it's just there was some inconsistencies in behavior that caused unnecessary disruptions between us even. That was foreseen yet unforeseen. And this speaks to the testament of our ecosystem, when people can come and go and come back and go and come back again. And when we have the returns, the seasonal returns, then we can start to like trust some sort of stability or consistency.
Okay, sounds great.
With the people. I don't know how to work with Cairo, but whatever.
It was Hubcast I was worried about because he told me he was going to destroy my reputation. So I was just like, well, we may need to do a little patching up with.
That's his MO, and he hasn't gotten over it, and until he does, he can't really play with people very easily. He's a kid like all of us. We all learn.
Exactly. I know. I have forgiveness. I just wanted to mention it as a transparency thing, and just so if you need to talk to Peter or you need me to anyway, and just because I heard Hubcast, I'm like, okay, I don't know if any of that's residual, but
Kyril and Peter are a 10-foot pole, distance. So it's just, Kimian is one thing. That's a different thing. That's worth supporting. And Kyril, if he just learns that his job is like a connector is enough, and then but it's just he spends too much time kind of like positioning and undermining.
Yes.
It's fine, but it's good for the ecosystem. Same with Carly, it's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good. Because if those people did not sort of test our protocols and show that it's easy to disrupt the organism by just being a single individual, that therein lies the problem. We can't have that. We can't have individuals be able to bring down the operation.
Yes.
That's yeah, easier said than done, but that's what we're learning, and we love everybody the same, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, 100% resonate, feel the same way, have nothing but compassion. So, yay.
Keep it real. Bacteria, yeah. Bacteria control the world. Keep it real.
Quorum, not the quorum. Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right, so yeah, you guys just figure out what your initial talking points that are going to be following the whitelist. So we don't know what's going to unfold, and you're inviting everybody to come in and look at the protocol, look at the pattern, and if they have any recommendations, to just like hammer away, critique. We bring the critics in close.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's every time we're launching a new project like this, by doing a whitelist first, it allows people to co-create more, co-craft. There's trolls, but you just have to tune that out.
Okay. I'm gonna trust that process. All right. I love it. Neil's gonna be very happy I just said that.
Yeah, because we need all eyes. You know, it's like you deserve, it's all eyes. So you deserve for your project, just like I deserve for my project, or anybody deserves for their land project. They deserve to have access to whoever, whatever they need, knowledge-wise, technical-wise, and they deserve to have access to the best. But the only way to do that is they need to propose their project to the world to see, and there needs to be a mechanism and a storytelling mechanism to like invite debate and talk about best design and challenge things, so that we grow as a whole, and not just sort of devolve into this sort of BS competitive reality that we go to so fast.
Oh, I deeply appreciate you, Bet. That's amazing. Yeah, it's so good. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to share this with everybody, and then we'll get it going.
All right. Talk soon.
All right. Bye.